It's been a beautiful vacation.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps because I'm a musician, so as I was listening to your conversation about music, it was speaking directly to my heart.
Yeah.
And then I really got goosebumps because I just left doctor's care on Tuesday to be here on Friday. I've been dancing with cancer since 2006.
Yeah.
And I met you in early 2007 when I was looking for answers because the doctor said, we're sorry.
Yeah.
And I've amassed infinite miracles in the last 13 years.
Yeah. Power of non-resistant thought.
Yeah.
When the doctor says he's sorry, say to him right back at you. Because I know stuff you don't seem to know.
Yeah, I call it the spiritual alchemy because that pivot from that hopelessness was, that's not the way I make music. And
nobody gets to choose for you.
So that gave me that end of the stick to push against and say, no, I'm going to make a different music from that story.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful when I stay in the now.
Yeah.
But I still find that end of the stick where the resistance is.
Everyone does.
Yeah. I feel, because I've had 3 dances with the doctors in 13 years where they do treatment, and I thought I was done. I had this vision for being done, and I was going to be on this vacation, no more chemo, and the doctors are saying, not yet. You know, you're playing at house money, and we need to keep you treated for the foreseeable future. So I had a lot of resistance against that because I've had a lot of time where I've allowed my body to detox from the chemicals. But I know it's resistance because I'm trying to be really good and I'm going to eat right and I'm going to do this and blah, 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 as if I can heal the cancer.
Well, in the state of non-resistant thought, which is easier under some conditions than others. And actually, as we were saying earlier, intensity actually makes it easier to have non-resistant thought if you work it that way. Because when keen awareness of how you're feeling it's so important to the direction of thought and to the choosing of vibration, then something that causes you to be extra sensitive is really helpful. We like your terminology, dancing with the doctors, because you're wanting to make light of it and be playful about it. But what we think this whole seminar has been about that is really beneficial for you is the phrase, the incredible power of non-resistant thought. Now, a lot of people use this experience and others like it, big trucks and falling off stages and cliffs and things, as their process for reemerging into non-physical. And sometimes that reemergence into non-physical is something that has been decided at many levels of their being, you see. But it is clear that it's not something that's been decided at many levels of your being. This is just residual resistance. When you see someone wearing eyeglasses or have an awareness that they're putting in contacts, do you feel critical of them for utilizing a method to make it easier for them to have an experience that they're wanting to have? Or do you just see it as helpful evolution and science, given the beliefs that large numbers of people hold? And so rather than getting after yourself that you may be part of a large contingency of humans who may have enough resistance that this solution is the one that works best for you right now. In other words, don't push against it. There's no virtue in using your powerful mind to make all things happen. Just relax in all of this and realize that it's just now and now and now and now. And so something that we want to say to you, you're really ready to hear this. It will be a comfortable thought for you to hear and something easy for you to focus upon as so much more time goes by. And that is that while there is value, we know because we've been teaching it for a long, long time. We've written book after book after book after book with all of this stuff in it about the path of least resistance and about working your way up the emotional scale and reaching for the thought that feels best. And so, of course, that's good work that sometimes is the only work that you can do. Sometimes in the middle of something, you just got to reach for a better feeling thought because that's all you can do. And sometimes even when you reach for a better feeling thought, you can't find one. And that's just fine too. You just do whatever you can do in wherever moment in time and under whatever situation you are. You just do the best that you can do. But now you're understanding that there are all kinds of things that you can do, like really chilling or really focusing upon something. Listen to the sound of the air in this room. Hear it. Oh. If you can focus there for a little while, It's not easy. Esther was doing it today, and right as she began, the captain began talking in her hallway. So she just relaxed and listened to him. He's quite delightful. And then once it was quiet again, she focused on the sound, and right away she could feel her vibration rising, and she could feel that blissful state of non-resistance. And then a thought occurred to her, and off she went. And she was well into that thought before she realized she was thinking instead of not thinking. And so she just laughed at herself and breathed again and listened for it again and focused there again. And it wasn't long before she received another thought, and she could tell by the nature of the thought that she wasn't receiving it from non-physical, because it was to-do list stuff. It was what I'm going to do when I get home, and what I need to tell so-and-so, and we're meeting at such and such. It was those kinds of thoughts. So she knew she had more momentum going. It was after 10 o'clock. She'd been awake for hours. She had a lot of momentum going before she sat to do that. So she didn't sit at the easiest time. She sat at a more difficult time to do it, but she knew she could do it because she always does it. She just knew she wasn't doing it as quickly as she usually does it, because her head was too full of other things. And we are not even suggesting that what her head was full of was resistant things. It was just more resistant than no thought at all. And so again, she listened for the sound. She has an application on her iPhone that she listens to. It's really spiritually based. You should all get it. It's called Central Air. And she likes it because it's consistent and there's no disruption. The waves make her want to be in Hawaii, and the babbling brook makes her think about fishing with Jerry, and on and on and on. But this has nothing to think about within it. It's just central air, sort of like this.
Is that not the breath? Central air right here.
There it is.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. So she listened to that other central air, and before she knew it, she was right there in that state of weightlessness and detachment, and feeling only what could be described as love. But she didn't want to try to put a title to it, because that would distract her from where she was. This is a time of non-thought, 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 non-resistance. And then the thought, the words came across her mind. She translated the vibration, the incredible power of non-resistant thought, the incredible power of being in an utter state of allowing, in an utter state where everything that you've asked for that's in your vortex is making its way to you in remarkable and lovely, what seem like coincidences, which they are. It's incidences that are coinciding. And so she just relaxed into that blissful state of not nothingness, power. And what is the power? It's the power of love. It's the power of well-being. It's the power of connection to source. It's the power that's behind everything that's coming about. But within it, there could be no thought of comparison, or it would go away. There could be no thought of, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm hooked up now. What am I going to point this hose at? Who am I going to reel in, or what am I going to accomplish? There's none of that, because as soon as you start pointing that hose, you start finding more resistance. It's just accepting the power that is you, the power of well-being, the power of non-resistant thought. Now we know these are just words, and there's not even that many of them. And we say them over and over again, and it has to be boring. The power of non-resistant thought. What did you learn about the power of non-resistant thought? What does that mean? I don't really know for sure.
What came up for me is you have to ask. We're talking about desire. You know, I can hear my throat chakra closing at times, and biggest part of me realizing.
When?
I mean, earlier when I was thinking of raising my hand and whether I'd be up here or not, I could hear my throat going, like, oh my God, you know, what are you going to say? And then I just said, just go up there and let it happen. Allow it.
So the asking has already taken place. That's really what we want to say. The asking has already taken place. And the thing about most who are offering a prayer or who are offering a request is that in the ask there is resistance. And so if you can just acknowledge, I've already done the asking, and it's already been clarified and purified through the energies of source. It's already been vetted. It's already been understood. The cooperative components have already been gathered. I don't have to defend it or justify it or rationalize it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to goose up worthiness, or I don't even have to understand it. I don't have to do anything. I already did it. The natural process of creation has already tended me really well. Life gave me something that caused me to want something, and I wanted it, and I set forth a request, and that request is poignant and it's understood by non-physical, and all I got to do is just get into that state, that powerful state of non-resistant thought, and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the now, 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 the now. Someone should write a song like that. Don't do it. It won't sell.
I'm a songwriter. Thank you.